How do recruiters prioritize their day? Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. And if you haven't yet seen this channel before, it is all about making you the next Millionaire Recruiter, regardless if you're even in the industry. Maybe you're thinking about it, who knows? But it's an amazing industry that can really make you a lot of money and have a whole lot of fun. So what this episode is all about is how do you prioritize your day as a recruiter? And I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say, but I have to say, I was thinking about this because one of my employees, Madison, shout out to Madison, she did her Learning Rainbow about this a couple weeks ago. And at Techies, which is my firm, we do a Learning Rainbow every month or so, and that really gives people the opportunity to, either talk about recruiting, talk about the industry, just teach us something, or just really have like a fun, conversation about things. And so what she wanted to do is, because she's a little early on in her career, she's about 2.5 years in or something, and so she wanted to know, how do we all prioritize our day? Because we're all so different. We all close different ways. We all, do intakes different ways. But at the end of the day, we all do the same fundamentals because we're all, trained really well. So she had an open conversation. How do you start that day? Well, first of all, interesting enough, it was all the same. It was kind of a funny Learning Rainbow because although we're all different, we're all have one thing in common, two things in common. We're all super successful. We all are hard workers, great work ethic, which I talk about in a different video, but we all do the same things on prioritizing our day. What is going to make us money first and foremost? So not everybody works through the night. As a recruiter, people say, oh, you're constantly on your email and stuff like that. Not really. I like to check in every now and again. And also I like to be aware of, do I have anything pending that actually does need my attention? So let's just assume no one gets back to emails, let's say after 4 o'clock. First things first, you go through your inbox and you're gonna start popping out, emails. Because if you go through your inbox, and a lot of people do this, which I think is super interesting, is that people start from the top or the most recent email. You wanna go the opposite direction and start from the bottom, because what you don't know is like there could be these conversations that you're missing, and then when you respond to the top, you don't have the context and you kind of look stupid. So you need to go all the way to the bottom and you start popping it out that way. And what I like to do is just pop them all out. I'm not even really reading them. I'm kind of gazing over them, like looking and kind of planning out what I think is more important than the other. Once I have them all popped out, I will then go ahead and go to which ones I think are the most important, and that's how I'm going to go through. And then, let's just say it's a super busy morning, and I'm just sometimes it just feels like it's a lot of admin work, because then you're thinking, well, which emails are the most important? Great question. First of all, you have to send resumes. Resumes have to be sent. Now, remember, there's not all good recruiters. For the most part, they're bad. So they spam resumes still. Now, our recruiting firm doesn't. We haven't done it for, oh my gosh, almost 10 years. So we don't do that. But there are some that really are just sending them out as fast as they can. And some companies take that. That's a timestamp. So if they get into the office at 8 o'clock in the morning and they see that resume, they're sending it right then and there without even talking. So you want to go to whoever gave you permission, because you don't play like that. Whoever gave you permission to send their resume, you make sure those resumes are being sent out as soon as possible. That's one. Now you're thinking, well, Brianna, what if there's an offer pending and this person wants to talk to you the moment you get in the office? Well, that's a good question. Do you want right here money, or do you want money that has to start? Because technically you can't have right here money until you've had the start money, right? What comes first, chicken or egg? Classic question. So I'm torn here. Offer, yes, because that is the closest to it. If you get in at 8 o'clock in the morning and your offer wants to talk to you at 8 o'clock in the morning, what to do? Get into the office at 7:30, you lazy head. That's the answer. There is no other way. You're saying, oh, well, I got to drop the kids off and stuff like, Look, you're gonna work it out. And you know what? Worst case scenario, you reach out to that person, the person who reached out to you offer-wise, and you say, all right, I'm gonna be running 5 minutes late. Or you say, hey, colleague that I like so much, can you handle this resume? I'm gonna forward it over to you because we need to send it to XYZ, to whatever client. Trust me, there's ways to figure it out, and sorry, yeah, I hope you have a lot of offers, but that's not gonna happen all the time. There's not that conflicts. But yes, you wanna go with what's gonna make you money right now and what's the closest to it, but don't forget about the money that's gonna be pending, which is that resume. Okay, so you do all of that super important things first, and then as the day goes on, yeah, you get back to all of your emails, you go through your inbox on LinkedIn, because all those things are really important. Now, how do you prioritize candidates? That's kind of difficult too. Well, who's open to opportunities? Who wants to talk to you? And really, it's gonna come down to what candidates are the best. You're not just gonna go based off on what candidates got back to you. Oh, you feel obligated. Look, we all do great work and you don't wanna push people away and you wanna help as many people as you can, but there's only so much time, there's only so much to give, and you really need to still prioritize yourself along with your clients, and that's gonna be by going with the best candidate. So let's do that as well. Now, after you've gone through your inbox, you're gonna go up on LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn has this amazing thing on LinkedIn Recruiter, and I'm sure you guys all know, and if you don't yet, you're in trouble. Open to ops. There's open to opportunities, beautiful button on LinkedIn, and if you haven't yet done this yet, I'll probably do a video on this now that I'm thinking about it. You're gonna go through all the profiles that have popped up for you that hopefully have come from your saved searches, and they will let you know when people are open to opportunities, which is amazing. Now, the moment they're open to opportunities, you need to reach out to them because everyone is doing that and you want to be their number one. I also like to, it's a little sneak peek to the video, I also like to add them on LinkedIn as well, kind of hit them through a few different sides so they know who I am. But okay, so then you're gonna go through there. Now what's next? Well, your inbox is already flowing. You need to do new business too. You can't just, do the new open to opportunities. You wanna do then another hot search. And the way I like to do that is I like to talk to my colleagues, talk to the room. Hey, what's our priority right now? What searches are you guys doing? I don't want to do those same searches. Not to say that I'm going to overlap, because guess what? LinkedIn is huge and amazing, but you just want to be on different tracks. You don't want to step on anyone's toes. So I'm going to do some fun searches. I like to do my searches and my outreach in the morning. So then in the afternoon, I have a lot of work to do. That's getting more resumes, setting things up, and it's just like a constant flow of awesome business. Now, on a side note, what you want to also do is you do want to switch it up and make sure you're doing the new business development in the afternoon as well. I like to do it right before I leave, which kind of drives me a little crazy, but a lot of people get back in the afternoon, like late afternoon, probably because they had a bad day at work and they're just like, oh my God, get me out of here. So that's something to think about too. And then they actually have time in the afternoon or the evening to kind of dwell about their day and start looking around and stuff like that. So if you can, as a recruiter, be open super early in the morning and later, that's awesome. But if you can't, look, like I've got 2 kids, if you didn't know, you have things to do, and that's okay. But guess what? I'm still getting my message out, and if I get back at night, great. If I don't, that's exactly what I'm doing in the morning and prioritizing every single day, because it's super important to be really efficient, and however you can do that is how you decide. I tend to like my my notebooks and my notes, and I have my my Post-its on, like, hey, this is my top 5 people right now that got back to me. I have to do this right now, or whatever you're doing. But you have to prioritize, and you have to keep moving. Just because you got one good candidate, you got their intake, you sent out their resume, you don't just sit back and like, all right, well, what's next? You got to keep going. So, all right, have a great time prioritizing your day as a recruiter and maximizing your money and your flow. Okay, let's do a really good recap, because I know I talked a lot and maybe you're like, I forget how I was supposed to prioritize my day. So number 1, the end of the day, offers always come first, right? That's your right now money. That's your celebration for all the work you've already done. And that's just driving someone across the finish line to make that deal. So priority number one. Number two, you're going to go in your inbox, pop out all of your messages and make sure you are looking through, you're browsing them really quickly to see which ones are truly important and which ones can wait until just a little bit. Number three, you're also going to go through LinkedIn's inbox. Same thing. In reality, it's the same thing, right? You're going to browse through, see really quickly. And then after that, after you've gotten that priority done, like I said, the other ones can kind of wait. You got to make sure that those resumes are sent out. So that's kind of goes hand in hand, right? As you're seeing a resume to send out, you gotta do that and make sure they're sent to your clients, because that timestamp is important. And then also what I would do is number four, I would go on LinkedIn and I'm gonna browse my pop-ups, my open opportunities that came from my saved searches from, who knows when I saved them, right? So you gotta get all that in. And then number five, obviously you gotta do some new business, right? Always, always, always do new business. I don't care how busy your day is, you feel swamped, you have all these intakes, you're exhausted, who cares? Go run around the office and come back and go do new business, because that is what's going to constantly make your recruiting world go round. All right, I will see you every Thursday at noon. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to add me on LinkedIn. I want to be friends. All right, never forget that money is just a vessel that gets you to where you want to go and to do the awesome things you want to do.